What's going on, guys? Good stuff. Big thanks to my buddy Rob Laid Back on the Instagram. He sent me some sweet cigars. Thank you, Rob. Anyway, I'm here at PPC Toe Turf Labs today. We're going to talk about the progress on this breakout ryegrass that I'm kind of experimenting with. That's uncovered Bermuda next door. Green grass looks nice in the wintertime. You can see right here this strip, that's it never germinated because that's the path to the driveway and it gets run over all the time, so obviously stuff won't germinate if you drive on it all the time. But anyway, it's doing pretty good. It's supposed to be kind of a cross between perennial ryegrass and annual ryegrass, supposed to have some of the good parts of both, if there is a good part to annual ryegrass. But anyway, we'll get it mowed and we'll jump into some talking about it. And I've got the 2020 PermaGreen demo for Longology. We're gonna break that out and just step through a few of the differences between that machine and my older machine. Stay tuned, it's action-packed. Somebody's shooting. Okay, we've got pretty decent coverage now. God, they're still shooting. It's tall and shaggy though, or it's not as tall and spindly as say a Gulf annual ryegrass would get, but it's not as tight as what and the color is not quite what you'd see out of a good perennial ryegrass. But hopefully this will transition out smoother than a perennial ryegrass. But I'm gonna mow it and let y'all get a look at it after I mow it. I'm suspecting I'll start, when I mow it and get the top off of it, I'll start seeing my dormant Bermuda grass pop out. I know I've said it if you watch some of the other videos, we had a weird year for things like ryegrass here because it stayed hot so long. We put out I scalped the Bermuda down pretty low, put the ryegrass seed into it, and it didn't do anything because it stayed really hot and dry, but the Bermuda continued to grow. And the Bermuda got a lot taller than what I would have wanted, you know, to be under the ryegrass. I guess I'm sorry I'm bouncing this thing around so much. How's that? I guess I need to go ahead and mow it low and let the ryegrass get above that canopy of dormant Bermuda so I can start cutting it tight. I'm not gonna do that today. I'm just gonna mow it kind of regular. But I had a chance to mow it that much. I think I've mowed it twice since I put it out, so it doesn't grow crazy. And I think I've put 818 on it maybe twice since September. Might 818 it again today, just see if we can get some better color in it. The color kind of has come and gone with the temperatures. When it got really cold, it's been colder this week and freezing and such, so it kind of sapped a lot of the color out of this. It's still better than an annual ryegrass color, but it's not where a perennial ryegrass would be. Let's get to mowing. So far, my opinion on the breakout ryegrass, it is way better than annual ryegrass, but not as cool as perennial ryegrass. So, hey, there's my wife. Oh, I'll be back. Well, I got to see my wife. That was exciting for me. But anyway, the differences in this stuff, I forgot where I even was. But the breakout, will I use it again? Of course, yeah. I'm waiting to see how bad it grows in the spring, but as far as and how it transitions out too. I had some problems with some of the perennial ryegrass in the past, killing it out in the summertime when I wanted to get it off the lawn before it became a detriment. And these new varieties of perennial ryegrass, they're putting so much into perennial ryegrass now because of sports turf and everything else. These sports fields are staying in perennial ryegrass a good portion of the year. So they're making it better and better and tougher and tougher. It's beautiful, beautiful grass, but you want it off your Bermuda before it starts to damage it. And so I've been having some trouble killing some of it sometimes. I mean, you can kill it, but it's a little harder than I want to be on my Bermuda that's coming out of dormancy. It's another story. But this should transition out. The appearance is pretty good on it. It's way, way, way better than a regular annual ryegrass, so it gets a plus there. Not quite as good looking as a perennial ryegrass. That's where I stand on that now. Let's talk about the differences in the old Triumph and this new 2020. Let's get down to it. All right, there they are head to head. The first thing that sticks out to me, super obvious, is that mine has some dog crap on the tire. The new one does not. The new one does not. But if you can notice right there, the new one, the 2020, is even lower. Get that center of gravity down. They do a lot to put the weight down low in these things. The tires, even on my old one, are filled with RV antifreeze to make the tires heavier, and this new one's even got wheel weights on it. But it keeps that center of gravity super low. And then, obviously your body is up over top of it when you're driving, and that you can use that as a big counterweight to sling your body whichever direction that you need the weight balance. And obviously a lot different in here in this this joint here. I got all kinds of dampening stuff in here to make it more stable, to make the turn smoother. That's impressive. And see, that's how mine looks. Plain Jane. That's pretty neat. That's cool. Then I'm seeing on the platform, you got this almost like a chariot. You got that cover there. I mean, I don't get anything on me spraying with mine without that. And so with that, you're definitely going to be protected from getting that herbicide sprayed up on you. The PermaGreen, I really don't have any kind of, on even, with my old machine there, any kind of problems with, getting stuff sprayed back on me, which is a big plus to a ride-on versus walking with a skid, because you're going to have it up to your knees, something like that. This one's got a filter down here, shut-off valve. There's the unloader valve right there, and that's your pressure valve. It's got the 20-pound cap on it. That's what mine's got on it too. See, there's the unloader on mine and the cap, and that's all plumbed up pretty similar. Well, it's great. The tanks are kind of redesigned on these. I think it's been like this for a while, ever since they put the new hopper on it, but that's pretty cool. And it's way greener than mine. Mine's fading. But you're gonna have like the guard to keep the fertilizer from building up on this, and also this one has the piece on it right here. When this slings around, it hits this hood and vibrates it, so you don't get fertilizer clumping on it. It's just little simple things like this, or it's just smart engineering. Simplicity is always better than overcomplicating to me. But see, what this is is it just keeps that fertilizer from building up on your blocker plate. So the fertilizer is going to roll right off of that and not sit on the deflector plate. Drop that deflector for you, show you what that looks like. I got it in there. The deflector is way bigger than the one on the old machine. You can see that's mine. See, mine didn't have as much measures to keep the fertilizer from building up on. You can see where it sat on it some and corroded. But here's deflector plate down on that. That's what you're deflecting with the old one. And this is how you're deflecting it with the new one. The new one even has a little more angle to it to sling it out. Then you've got the dual rate controls. This is where you can set it for high gear and low gear. Pretty cool. And the hopper redesign is one thing that I would like to see how it works. You can see down in there, it rolls much more into a point at the bottom to where all the material is going to flow out. Mine has a big flat area in the bottom basically, and you do have some leftover material when you get down to the end there. You got to kind of brush it toward the holes. And I'm thinking it will not be as bad on this. And the lip on this hopper goes inward, so when you got it full of fertilizer, if you have to roll off the curve or something, it's not going to spill out the top. On mine, if I got it filled up to the top with fertilizer and bounce off a curve or round the corner real sharp, you'll sling some out of the hopper actually if you're not careful. It's just a handful of the improvements. Of course, the wheelbase, mine is much longer in the wheelbase than this one. That one's tight, so it turns super tight. Let's cock this thing around. Let's see how tight you can get it. You can get it turned that tight, so it'll whip right on around. Let's do mine. Let's see, that's the difference on mine. So yeah, you're getting a lot tighter turning radius on this new machine. But I'm telling you what, both of them will make you a buck. Awesome machines. Just good engineering and simplicity in them. Reliable Honda engine in them. I love a PermaGreen, man. I know a lot of you that watch this junk, you have a PermaGreen and have used one and are pretty familiar with how it works. I'm gonna give a quick rundown of how this spray works on it. It's pretty unique and it's pretty foolproof too. So that's one of the things that I really do like about the PermaGreen. When you're dealing with spraying and you're calibrating, the things you have to take into account are the height you're spraying from, where your spray tips are from the ground, the speed you travel at, and how much spray pressure you're putting out. With the PermaGreen, your spray pressure is set. It's always going to be the same, and the speed is always going to be the same. So there's a high and a low gear, and there's two broadcast nozzles on it. So you can select the high gear nozzle when you're in high gear, and it's going to spray at the proper rate for that speed all the time, every time. And the same thing for low gear. If you're in low gear, you select the low gear broadcast nozzle, and it'll spray in about an 11-foot spray swath. I overlap that some, so it's not like I've got an 11-foot boom out there, but it's not far from it. So I mean, I'm saying you're at least spraying a good 9-foot effective area with it. That's kind of how I calculate it anyway. But you don't have to worry about tracking your speed or slowing down and speeding up. You can really lose a lot of effectiveness with a boom sprayer if you're going too fast. You can put too much down if you're going too slow, damage your turf, and waste money at the same time. So that's the great thing about the PermaGreen, with the low volume and the set to determine speed. So you're always going to be getting that same volume out. If you're in the high gear or the low gear, you're going to be covering the area with the same volume of spray due to your set speed of travel. I'll show you the nozzles, and then you got a trim nozzles for high and low gear, and they'll spray about a 3-foot section, about the width of the well, I feel like I'm effective right at about the width of the machine, maybe a little less. So you can angle those up or down to control how wide that's going to be. I kind of like to have my my trim ones pointing a little forward to where they're clearing the tires, if that makes any sense. When you're spraying, if your spray pattern is hitting the tires, you're going to be off, and it's really easy to adjust. You just pull them back and forth. But I'll show you the nozzles and talk a little more about it, the tips. Stay tuned. So they are not actually 100% set right on them. These are pretty, well, they're about where mine, well, I'll see if I can pan over my machine. See how mine are pointed down a little more. But this should give you a width right on about the width of the front tires. And then you've got a high gear and a low gear broadcast nozzles under here. And one of these will spray at a time. This is a fluid jet nozzle is what this is. And it shoots big, heavy drops out. Very effective. Effective for fungicides, weed control, you name it. I've had really good luck spraying fungicides and weed control out of the PermaGreen. It's been very effective for me. But there's your spray nozzles, and you can point them up or down. If you got it up, you're obviously going to be spraying a wider pattern. It's going to be kind of spraying out everywhere. You kind of got to find that sweet spot to where you're just kind of putting a big, looks like a mushroom out in front of you, and you can put some water in it and get it out on some concrete, put it in neutral, and spray it, and you just kind of get a feel for what your pattern's looking like on it. There you go. There's a quick 2-second overview on some of the improvements, new versus old, on the PermaGreen. I'm taking the demo model down to Longology next week, so there'll be lots of videos coming out of there, hopefully, if I have time, about, you know, I'm gonna give test rides. Of course, I'm gonna video some of that and try to put it out. But fantastic machines, man. I don't know, man, I would not be anywhere near as productive without, you know, a PermaGreen. The spreading capabilities are amazing. The spraying is good too. It's just awesome. I love my PermaGreen, and the maneuverability. I can't say enough. Anyway, I'm gonna get a little bit of Carbon Earth 818 out on this ryegrass. Try to get it darker. See how dark we can do it. Stay tuned. I got to put it in the old one. I'm not gonna put, you know, that in the new one right now before I got to take it inside at Longology. Wrong, wouldn't it? A moral conundrum here. I gotta think about it. I'll give me some sweet Carbon Earth 818 out on my lawn, and I decided to act like a grown-up and put it in my machine instead of PermaGreen's demo machines before I had to take it inside at Longology. You sit over there and watch how this is done, Junior. All right? All right, we'll get this out. All right, I've actually put my camera with my phone on the new PermaGreen, so y'all can see the view of how it's watching the old PermaGreen spread fertilizer to learn how. why that wood shaker is so valuable. That shield, I could probably just put the shield on. All right, I'm gonna do a turning radius showdown. I've got them apart with the front wheels even. There's the difference in the back wheels. So the new one has a much shorter wheelbase, and it's got all this dampening stuff in it to make the platform more stable and the turn smoother. So let's see, let's do it. I'm gonna run them down the driveway and spin it around and see how much difference there is in the radius. The difference is subtle, but the turning radius is definitely tighter on the new one. And if you multiply that over the thousands of turns you'll make every day in the yard, it's going to make a difference. So I appreciate you guys watching. There's going to be lots more stuff coming out next week from Lawncology. Hope we'll see you there. Thanks for watching.